here. She was into USD, but where did she go to elementary school?
She went to Sam Hughes Elementary here, also to Lineweaver Elementary. Then she was in Doolin Middle School, and now she's at University High School. I credit, her with getting me to, first run for public office, because it was the school situation that I was so upset about. And that, frankly, our current administration, Governor Ducey's administration, I feel has really done a very, very poor job in. And this run for Congress, I feel like I'm running for her future as well. Issues such as reproductive health care rights, issues such as addressing climate crisis, addressing the issues of water here in Arizona. This will affect her future and that of her generation. So she has continued to be a very important figure in terms of motivating me to reach out and run for office.
So speaking about your run for Congress, tell me, what are your top 3 issues that you care the most about heading into this race?
Well, first and foremost, protecting women's fundamental freedom to make their own health care decisions. As a woman and as a mom of a teenage daughter, this couldn't be more important to our future and to the future of this next generation. And I am just devastated and frustrated, as so many women here are, by the fact that we're going back to a pre-statehood law here in Arizona, a law that completely bans abortion without exception, except to save the life of the mother. And this is a law that was passed, this is horse and buggy days before women even had the right to vote. So it's a profound change, and one that will really affect women's future, the future of our young people. And it's something that I want to go to Congress to fight to restore those reproductive rights. This is healthcare. We just here in Arizona had a situation where a 14-year-old girl was denied life-saving drug for her autoimmune disease. And pediatrician friends of mine have told me it's a very effective drug, but because it also induces abortions, she was denied that drug. So just think about, not being able to access drugs that you need, or waiting for permission while, lawyers are consulted. This is not the way we should be handling health care.
And on to your other 2 issues.
Yes, absolutely. The other issue I'm talking about with folks, because folks are bringing it up to me, and it's something that I have, a professional background in, is working on issues of water and climate change. This really is a crisis here. We're seeing the levels in our reservoirs dropping on the Colorado River, and yet, millions of Arizonas rely on the Colorado River. And we are now in the situation where, Arizona is doing its part. We are subject to the drought contingency plan, which has mandatory cutbacks in our Colorado water use. I'm very proud to have worked across the aisle on that when I was in the Arizona legislature, but more needs to be done. We need the engagement of the Biden administration. I've been critical of them in not pulling in California and making sure that the other states, specifically California, is also doing its part in terms of reducing its water use. We know the drought conditions are largely being driven by climate change. We're in a 21-year mega drought, and climate change is also causing, wildfires, extreme heat, high utility bills. Think about, seniors and others that are on fixed incomes that are dealing with, higher and higher utility bills because of the heat conditions. And yet this is something where we can help people, we can address climate change. And it's an economic benefit to Arizona. With our, so much sunny days, we really can be a place where solar energy thrives. And it's wonderful to see Congress finally really getting engaged on this with passing the Inflation Reduction Act. This is going to be a lot of resources to Arizona to jumpstart our renewable energy industry, get those EV chargers out there so that we can electrify the transportation system. So I'm very, very encouraged by this, but we need leadership in Washington. This is just a first step. We need to take more steps. This is something that is going to affect us and affects us here in the Southwest particularly.
And your third issue?
And my third issue is to protect Social Security and Medicare. These are earned benefits that keep our seniors, in financial stability, protect their health, and we are seeing nothing but attacks by the Republicans on this. And yet, it is something that is just so vital. We have a large senior population here, and this is an issue that I want to strengthen and also protect Social Security and Medicare.
Would you improve it in any way?
Well, first and foremost, we have to prevent the Republicans from weakening it. They have all kinds of ideas of requiring it to be reenacted, essentially increasing the age at which people receive their benefits. So making sure that we protect the current benefits is important, and also making sure that we strengthen it. Make sure that it will continue without any reductions.
And why are you qualified to represent Arizonans in Congress?
Well, first of all, I am a mom, and I am also an environmental attorney and a legislator. I have worked hard on many of these really critical issues in the legislature. I was an advocate for women's reproductive health care and against efforts to weaken them. As a mom with a daughter in public school, I'm very close to the struggles that families have had with education in this state, and am prepared to be an advocate on that. And I've also had the experience of being a public official, being someone that represents the people in this very district, listens to their concerns. When I was a legislator, we had town halls every month. I put out newsletters. I know what it's like to be accountable to people in this district. And I also feel like I have some expertise in some of the issues that we're addressing, such as water and the climate crisis.
You've stated that the situation at the US-Mexico border is a humanitarian crisis. How do you plan to combat that?
This is an issue where I have to say Washington has failed us, and it's both the Republicans and the Democrats. I don't think the Republicans have done a good job on this. I don't think particularly the Democratic administrations have done a great job with this. And Arizona has had a bigger burden being a border state. So we do need to secure our border. There's real issues of drug trafficking and human trafficking. A lot of those drugs actually going through our ports of entry, which we should strengthen. And there's good proposals on that. It's also, yes, as I have said, a humanitarian crisis with so many people coming to our border, seeking to enter the United States to make a better life for themselves. They deserve and are entitled under US law to an orderly asylum process. And yet right now they're subject to all kinds of delays. We are taking manpower from the security to processing their asylum. That doesn't make sense. We need to secure the border with technology, with more manpower. We need an orderly asylum process, and we need to stop kicking the can down